Amani Channel, webvideochefs.com. We're in the studio, in the home studio where I cook up my recipes, and I'm giving you a behind the scenes look at my setup. So I'm going to talk through this a little bit. Of course, I'm setting up the lights. I'm using Home Depot clamp lights that are connected to various stands. One is to a tripod stand, the other one is connected to a music stand. And so you just want to position the lights, make sure they are on, of course. And then you set up the tripod. So I'm setting up the tripod. This is a static tripod. I'm not really doing any movement, so it works fine for that. And I will connect some cables to it. It's because I want to hear. You know, you got to connect the audio cables. There's a special audio adapter that you need. And then I will connect the tripod to the camera. All right. So there's a special adapter that you'll need for that as well. All right. So then once that's done, I will connect the audio cable to the phone. I will wrap the cable around the tripod stand to reduce tension on the input jack on the phone because you don't want to short that out. And now it is connected to the XLR cable, which is the professional mic that I will use. I'm using a Sony ECM series microphone. The next thing I'm going to do is set up the monitor. So I put a little graphic, Web Video Chefs graphic, over my right shoulder, over my left shoulder actually. Looks like it's on the right. And after that's done, I will try to tidy up a little bit. There are some wild cables, some rogue cables that are on my desk, so I'll try to clean those up a little bit, tighten it up, and then I will connect the headphone to the headphone output on the audio adapter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, testing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, testing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so that's what you call a mic test, and I will listen just to make sure I can hear myself, that it sounds fine. And I will make some additional adjustments to the lights. The music stand was a little bit low, so I raised that up just a little bit. And I get ready for one more test. Got to make some adjustments to the lights. And I'm just going to let this ride. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2. Just back a little bit more like this.
Wow, it's right there.
Well, do what you're supposed to do. Come on.
What are you supposed to do?
Ooh, Daddy made a mess, Mama.
Come on this way. Come on this way. Give me a hug and a kiss.
What?
Hey.
Can I see what you're doing?
I'm just putting some lights up. I'm gonna record a little video.
No, I want to do the video.
Well, it's actually recording. See that light with the red light on right there? It's actually recording right now.
Us?
So it's making a video right now.
So where I'm going to hold the leg.
Huh?
Camera.
Oh, you're not holding a camera. It's just on the tripod. See? The camera's on the tripod. See my iPhone's on the tripod?
And that one
It's
is...
just standing up on the desk, on the shelf.
What?
So give me a hug and a kiss and then go night night.
I want you do that.
I'm almost done. I'm all done.
I want to do it with you.
You just did it with me. You just did it with me.
Can I look at this one?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. You can look, but don't touch it.
I can't see it good. It's far away. I can't see it.
Well, don't touch it. It's set up for a very specific reason.
Okay.
Alright, so that was Devin, of course, going night night. I write down some talking points, just some things I want to talk about. Make sure the mic is all where it needs to be. I'm about ready, folks, to give this a shot. Push record, and then we're recording a Web Video Chef's recipe. Some behind the scenes action for you. Oh, gotta plug in the mic too, because I unplugged it, so I plug it back in. And now we're ready to record. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amani Channel, webvideochefs.com here. Thanks so much for watching. In this recipe, I'm going to share some tips to make sure you look and sound your best when on camera. And 3, 2, 1. Now we all want to look and sound great on camera. For some it comes natural. There are those who like to be on camera. There are some who may not like how they look and sound so much. They may not feel so comfortable. So I shared some tips in another recipe to help you get started. But I also, as a follow-up, had a colleague ask me some specific questions about how to look, how to sound, how to sit, that sort of thing when on camera. So I wanted to answer those questions in this recipe. So to start off with, if you're sitting or standing on camera, you want to be relaxed. You don't want to be too stiff or upright, because that'll just make your audience feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you don't want to lean or slouch too much. You don't want to lean to one side. You definitely don't want to rock if you're in a chair. Don't rock, because that'll give a sense of nervousness or that you're not comfortable. So just try to sit as still as possible, yet be comfortable. And the same goes for standing. What I used to do in news is sometimes the camera person would say to cheat a shoulder sort of towards the camera one way or the other. So you may want to try doing that. But in general, just stand there, be comfortable, and do your best when you're performing on camera. So just some tips as you're getting started. Of course, you want to be groomed, wear the appropriate things. So if you're a lawyer, you may not want to be wearing like a jumpsuit or a workout suit. I'm sorry. And if you're an athletic trainer or a fitness buff, you don't want to be wearing a suit. Just wear clothing that's brand specific or brand appropriate rather. All right. So how do you sound? What kind of vocal tone or quality do you have in your voice? Some people have more of a bassy voice. Some people talk from their throat. Some people talk more nasally. So depending upon how your voice is or what the tone is, you may want to practice perhaps pushing your voice a little bit lower, like speaking from your lower diaphragm, which is what I try to do. Sort of tighten your abs as you're speaking. You can feel if you're speaking from the bottom of your stomach or from your chest or from your throat, or if you're speaking more from your nose. I mean, you can definitely hear it and you can feel it too as you're speaking. So just listen, record yourself, listen to it, make some adjustments, practice speaking more from your gut if you'd like to do that, if you want to add more bottom to your voice. Make sure you have enough volume when you're speaking on camera. So of course you're wearing a microphone, which is going to do a great job of capturing your audio sufficiently, but you also want to speak up. You don't want to necessarily whisper, because then you will have to do some audio adjusting on the back end. So make sure you're projecting your voice, make sure that you're speaking up. In terms of pace, you want to speak at a pace that keeps the audience's attention. It isn't so slow that it bores them. It isn't so fast that you're slurring your words, that you're not speaking or saying your words clearly. So I tend to speed a little bit. I get excited about this stuff. But in general, hopefully you can understand everything that I'm saying, because I try to articulate, I try to pronounce my words very clearly. Which brings me to the next point, how you pronounce your words. So if you're saying someone's a hard word that you may not fully understand, make sure you know how to pronounce certain words. Make sure that if you're introducing a guest, if you're interviewing someone, that you have their name pronounced, you know how to pronounce their names, so you're not introducing them like a lot of people like to call me Armani Chanel. My name is not Armani Chanel, it's Amani Channel. Now, I don't get too upset when people get it wrong, because it's been happening all my life, but it still makes a difference. So you still should always be trying to say words correctly, and introduce people with their correct names, and know how to say and pronounce people's names. Accordingly, if you are speaking to a certain niche audience, or depending upon who your audience is, you may want to slang it up a little bit. You may want to use certain colloquialisms or words that are just familiar to your audience. Maybe there's some abbreviations or something like that your audience would understand. There's some phrases that if I was in the news business and said to you, like if I said gangbang, would you know what a gangbang is? No, you wouldn't. Now, if I was talking to a news person, they would know that it's a situation where a bunch of cameramen are all after one person, and it's like everyone wants to talk to one person. You've seen gangbangs. Like a gangbang is when a bunch of camera people and reporters are all after one specific subject. It happens in high-profile court cases, things like that. So forgive the news business for having those kind of phrases, and sorry news for putting out there, but those are certain specific phrases that if I was talking to a certain audience, you may not necessarily understand what I mean or what I'm saying. And sorry if I offended any of you by the phrase, but that's what it is. So just some things to keep in mind as you're speaking on camera. Watch your vocal quality, watch how you pronounce things, watch your volume, watch how you look, how you sound. You're gonna be your worst critic, but just don't give up, keep going. You look and sound great, you're gonna get better, just keep at it. And you'll be making great videos to be looking professional, well-spoken on camera. Amani Channel. This is webvideochefs.com. If you have a question, you can always ask us at ask@webvideochefs.com. You can leave a comment. You can subscribe to this channel or to our e-newsletter. Like this video if you liked it. And I'll talk to you soon. All right, so hold your pose for a couple of seconds after you're done recording, so you have a little bit of pad when you edit. Unclip the microphone. Make sure you do that, especially if you're wearing a lavalier. And that's what you call a wrap, folks. Peace.